Good morning, everyone. The time now is 9:20. We are going to get started. So yesterday, we saw the market take a big dip, and then we made like 100% on our SPY short position, right on the puts that we bought on this breakdown here that we identified. This morning, we're still playing along this long-term trend, right? So in the channel, I'm going to zoom out here so you guys can have a clearer picture. We're just at the bottom of this long-term channel, right? Just been bouncing around in here for a while. This is the SPY. Hit the top, came back down, and now we're just trending along the bottom here. This is the 1 hourly chart. Big sell-off here right at 8 a.m. Then right now, we do have the VWAP acting as a resistance as well as the blue EMA line, so setting up as a reverse spirit bomb. So if we break below this yellow line here, we are still in okay position because we do have this level here, which we just touched actually. As I extend the line, as you see here, we touched that at 6 a.m. So the charts are playing exactly inside of our channels here. So as we broke this line, we came down to the next level, bounced right off that next level. So today we might have room down to here, which is 412 and change. Yesterday I took profit on all my puts, and then before the market closed, I took an additional couple puts towards the end of the week expiry, so the 23rd expiry, rather than dailies, just because I didn't know which way it was going to go. So we see this line here acting as a support level for the SPY, which is good. If we break below this line, we might head down to here, and then once we break this level here, we will be out of our upward trend and we will be free falling. So watch out for that, guys. Otherwise, if we bounce off this line, we have all the way up to here, which is 418 all-time highs. Do I think we're going to reach there? I don't. I think the market has a lot of catalysts right now, unfortunately negative catalyst for this frothy market. So I think we will see a correction. I've been talking about that for the past couple of weeks, and now it is actually coming to fruition here. TQQs, the Nasdaq, kind of experiencing the same thing, breaking out of our upward trend. So as you see here, we're actually just a lot weaker than the SPY. So the tech sector usually has the pullback first, just because it is very, very forward-looking in terms of their stock valuations. On the hourly here, you guys can see we broke out of this upward trend yesterday. Now we're trying to recover, but once again, same thing as the SPY. We do have the VWAP and the EMA acting as a resistance. So we do have a pre-market pivot down here at 406.77. If we break that, we will be coming down for the rest of the day. Back to the 5-minute here. So I'm watching the SPY, have puts on the SPY here. Bitcoin just kind of stable around this level of the fib, which is 55.6. Today is 420, right? So Doge day. So people are expecting Dogecoin to blast off, Shibi to blast off. So we'll see what happens. I think we're probably gonna get a big dump, right? If everyone's buying in anticipation of today, it's most likely to sell, make that quick buck and get out. GameStop relatively stable from yesterday's close. I think we will get a lot of volatility. GameStop, the actual company, has been putting out a lot of tweets pointing towards 420, which is today. So let's see what happens. So far, we haven't seen any news drop from GameStop, but we're expecting something this week in terms of their shareholders meeting, which is going to be on June the 9th. Tesla slowly trending up here from the fib. We touched this fib yesterday, 705 pre-market, and now we're slowly ramping up. Yesterday we went all the way down to this lower fib here, bouncing off of it, 691. 694 is the fib, false breakdown, and then went up for the rest of the day. So today in the morning we have a little bit of strength coming in as people are picking up the dip here on the SPY and on the TQs on the NASDAQ. The SPY having a bigger bounce than the NASDAQ so far, but as we've always seen every single morning, you always get a nice spike in the morning, and then after the spike, we get a sell-off, and then after the sell-off, generally we've been getting a bounce towards the upside. However, yesterday, instead of getting that bounce towards the upside, we stalled out here and came down for the rest of the day. We saw that on both the NASDAQ, which we just saw, and on the SPY right here. Bounce at the beginning of the day, sell off. Normally we bounce here, we move up for the rest of the day. However, we stalled and came crashing down. So I expect possibly the same thing today. So we have a few pivot points that we're looking out for that will determine where we go. Okay. 10-year Treasury, just kind of playing here, but we are in upward trend for the 10-year Treasury. But if I zoom out here, you see we are just in a massive ascending triangle here. This is the play we always like to make, right? Almost like a flat top breakout, not quite, but we do have the triangle coming to an end here. And then at this point, we're either breaking up or breaking down out of the triangle. On GameStop, actually, if we zoom out all the way, that's interestingly what we are playing. So just breaking out of this triangle here yesterday. Hey, buddy, how are you? Yeah, hey, handsome. But as we see here, we have a nice cup, mini cup, and handle, and then we might break out towards the upside today. And previously we were playing a very, very large cup and handle. So we have a cup, handle, we have a cup and handle here breaking out. And then we had this massive, massive cup and handle that we've been playing this whole time, which is this cup and handle to the breakout. So waiting for that technical breakout to happen. Looks like it's going to happen sometime this week. Moving into next week there, we will need to break above this orange line here, which is 778. Woo, nice move on Tesla. Nice oversold bounce here. Tesla, I think, is very, very undervalued right now. And then Tesla just had news of the crash, but people were saying it was driverless, and now people are saying there were drivers in the car. And so we'll see. Let me check the shorts. See what we're looking at this morning. Ooh. There's very, very few shares available to borrow on GameStop to short, which means the hedgies are trying to take us out today. So I expect a nice little dip, and then I think we're going to get a good recovery towards the rest of the day. Let's see what happens. So we have about a minute until the market opens. Oh, a couple of seconds here. So SPY curling off the top here. Let's see if we use this blue line as a support and bounce. So I think we're going to get a nice spike to start the day. And we're going to come down, bounce off this line into the daily highs. That's how we've been moving for the whole week except for yesterday. So let's see how we move today. A little bit of indecision right now. Normally we get a move right out the gates. There we go. There's that move, that spike that I was talking about. Where's our NASDAQ? There we go. NASDAQ TQ is also having a spike. We got Tesla spiking. Chipotle down. QS. Square bouncing right off of this fib. Tried to break this fib and came right back down. Tesla looking strong this morning. Game, quick sell off in the morning. So I'm looking for it to bounce off of this level here, which is 158. 158 looks like the mark to break and bounce. So if you guys are looking to take positions on game right here, right off this yellow line, and then I think we're going to trend upwards using this yellow line as a support.
No, no, it's the left. It's the left. Oh, look at here.
Pre-market pivot right here. Let's see if we can break it. We broke it by a couple points. As we can see, getting rejected right here. Let's see what happens. We have big sell pressure right here. Right before the market opened, we had a sell-off.
Don't eat it. No eating. No food.
Getting a little bit of resistance here off the top on the SPY. Nasdaq still looking pretty strong. We got game recovering. Nice tailing wick off the bottom. Let's see what happens. We're starting to get a bit of a pullback on the markets, tailing wick off the top on the SPY. Tech sector still looking strong. So we have a lot more strength today in the tech sector than in the SPY. Getting a pullback on the SPY. Tesla looking really nice. Woo! Chipotle. My target price point for Chipotle, which is charge point, is down here, 1954, right off this fib. Square is still trying to break above this fib line here. We had a little false breakout here, and we came back down. Hi, what's up, buddy? What's in your mouth? Give it to daddy.
No, eat it. No,
Give it to daddy.
that's it.
Okay, good boy.
Oh, eat it. Eat it.
Yeah. Ooh, pullback on the tech sector. Tesla still doing Tesla things. Let's see what happens. Slight pullback. Let's see if we follow.
Do not eat. Do not eat.
So we're just waiting now to see which direction the market goes. So I would say about 9:45 we'll see what is going on. Pre-market pivot right here, 408. And then we have a pre-market down here, pivot of 406.74. This is on the tech sector, the TQs. On the SPY, I would say if we break this level here, which is 413.29, we'll probably come down to this yellow line. And then we'll see what happens after that. We break that yellow line, we have a very, very far way to fall. Let me zoom out. Fib is down here at 410. So once we break this line here, our next level is going to be down here on the fib, and we do have this EMA level coming up, this green, to touch. And right here we see this fib acting as support, so we should see a bounce off this level today if we break this yellow line here. That's what I'll be looking for. So if we bounce here, I'll take profit. If we break here, I'll add to my short position. I'm trying to write it down. The 1-year treasury, a lot of sell-off as we approach this yellow line here. I mean the 10-year treasury. So trying to hold this yellow line here on the SPY. Let's see what happens. Ooh, nice bounce on the SPY. Looks like we're trying to get a bounce here on the SPY. Let's see how this candle plays out. So we just broke the daily high here. Nice bounce on the TQQs as well. Just watching here. Let's see. Alright. This is our mark right here in game. Around 158. We might get a little false breakdown and then a bounce, so expect that. You guys are looking to take a position this week. Woo! Getting ready for reversal here on Tesla. Right, we got tweezer top, so expect this to probably come back down. I think to the blue line here, maybe 716, 717. If you guys are playing short-term Tesla, I'd take profit here. And then we can re-enter down here if you want. QS, nice spike into some weakness. Woo. Let's see what happens here. Are we going to hold the tweezer or are we going to come down? Looking at the Nasdaq, we're getting a bounce off of these levels here. Still a lot of weakness. So seeing this weakness here, looks like we're going to hold this tweezer setup and come back down to the blue. Little bit of a bounce on gain. Ooh, very nice push. So right now, what we see on Tesla, we see a divergence starting to happen, right? So we see volume dropping, but we see the RSI higher, the MACD higher. So there's a lot of buying pressure coming in. If volume increases from here, Tesla should have a massive spike today. So let's see what happens. Same thing with GameStop, as you see here, volume trailing down. We see a reversal here in the RSI. The MACD starting to level off. And then if volume does increase, we should see a big run in gain, just because we have such a long way to go on the RSI and a long way to go on the MACD. On the hourly, looking a little bit bearish with this big candle dropping here. So I moved out to the 4 hourly. Cup handle bouncing off the blue, which is the play we always make. Now this blue and yellow line here, ascending support. We have blue line here. So we have two supports here acting as a confluence. So we need to hold this level here, as I mentioned before, which is 158. 158 would be a nice value buy if we can get in around that point. And we want to stay holding this trend line here. And then obviously we do have a longer term right here. So we've broken out of this triangle. Ideally you want to stay along this line rather than come down and bounce off of this line. But even so, we are inside part of a massive triangle, which is inside of an even more massive triangle, right? And so we know these wedges always break out as we get to the apex of them. Whether it's up or down, we know a big move is coming. Nice bounce here. So we have a higher low here on the TQs, but what we want to see is a higher high, right? So right here we have an inside candle, a moment of indecision. So this might signal a reversal. We need to break the high of this candle right here to continue this bullish momentum. Otherwise, we'll get a reversal right here. Let's see if we can break this mark, which is 109. There we go. So we broke this last 5-minute candle, showing a higher high. So right now we are trending like this. So it looks like the TQs want to follow this channel today. Let's see what we're looking at on the SPY. A little flat top here, so looking really bullish this morning. So we have a flat top right here. So So we have a little flat top breakout here at 414.50 and change. And then we should see a spike upwards. Here we go. Get ready. So on SPY, if we get rejected off of here, I'm going to buy some puts. Looks like we're coming down. So this looks like yesterday. Remember how yesterday we had a flat top breakout, but we failed? Hi, buddy.
Let me see. Bubble. Bubble. No? Let me see. Yeah? Oh, when you do the bubble in the bath? Yeah? Yeah.
Let's see here. We have 413, and then we have, what is that, 410. So I'm going to try and buy a 410. Expiring tomorrow. So I'm targeting that point there. We tried to break out here, we failed. So I just picked up a put for tomorrow, expiry April 21st, strike price of 410, and this is my mark down here. So let's see how that goes. Entry position anywhere between this yellow line and this yellow line, guys, for game. So I'm making this play similar to yesterday. Yesterday's setup was right here. Failed this breakout at the very top, right? So this was around 950, which is right now. So yesterday we touched once, touched twice, 3 times, 4 times. We failed to break out this flat top, and then we had this massive move downwards. So today we're looking at almost the same setup, right? At the same time. So we hit once, let's say we hit here twice, 3 times, maybe 4 times. Let's say we break here, and then we fail this breakout top and we come down. So let's see if today plays out the same way as yesterday. If it doesn't, I'm just going to cut my position. If it does, then we're going to take a nice ride downwards and just make bank off of that. So we have the TQs pushing. So let's see if we get a divergence here between the TQs and the
Thank you.
SPY. So we failed this breakout again. So looking like today might play out the same way as yesterday. Hey handsome. Hey handsome boy, you wanna come up? Where are you going? You wanna come up sit with daddy? Yeah, look at the markets. There we go. Hi everybody. So false breakout here, right? So we broke above the flat a little bit and came down, and so it looks like we're playing out exactly as yesterday. We do have a level here, VWAP, EMA acting as a resistance. Let's see if we get a bounce there. If we break through here, we're gonna head down to this yellow line, break through this yellow line, come down here. We might get a massive sell-off, the same thing as we did yesterday. Once again, I've been saying the market is super frothy. Yields are going up. There's a crazy amount of things going on in the markets which surround GameStop, which is going to have a negative effect on the markets as most of the funds will need to liquidate their positions and sell their positions. You want to read a book up there, buddy? Okay, ask Grandpa. What book do you want? Or you want to play with cards? You want to read a book? Okay. Right, and so every time you short a stock, you get money. So let's say they shorted Tesla. So to short a stock, you're borrowing a stock and you're selling it right away. So if I was to short Tesla right here, I would be selling a stock at the price of $734. So now I have $734 in my bank account. What am I going to do with this money? I'm probably going to go long something that I think is going to go up, right? So I'm selling an asset that I do not own. I get cash in my bank. Now I'm going long. And so let's say I short Tesla and I buy Square, right? Because I think Square is going to go up. Or I short Tesla and I buy Bitcoin. Yeah, let's say this. I short Tesla, boom, and I throw money into Bitcoin. And now that's all great, except for Bitcoin. I'm leveraged 10 to 1 on my long, right? So every dollar Bitcoin goes up, I make $10. Every dollar Bitcoin goes down, I lose $10. The problem here is Tesla keeps on going up, which means I'm losing money on this position here. And now the SEC and a whole bunch of regulatory bodies are saying, hey, you guys can't do that anymore because you're taking $735 and you're turning that into like $10,000, right? Because you're way over leveraged. So now the regulations say you need to have an equivalent of $735 cash in your bank account and hold that there. And so now all of a sudden, this free money that the shorts have been used to using is no longer there. And the whole point of wanting to bankrupt the company is that you don't have to return the money because you never have to rebuy the shares because the company is no longer there. So what happens is I borrow the shares. Technically, I have to rebuy it and give it back to the person I borrowed it from. But if Tesla goes bankrupt, I don't have to return anything. So they just got a whole bunch of free money to buy a whole bunch of long assets. And so if they get margin called, they will have to sell a whole bunch of their long positions, tanking the market to cover any of their shorts, right? And so that's going to be woohoo! Look at QS just killing it. So that's going to be a huge issue for the market. If as we approach the 22nd, which is when that comes online, right? That new rule from the SEC. Let's see if we have any news on QS.
She can wait to see what here she will wear on her special day. Oh, today is her birthday. You take me in. Yeah.
No new news.
Then the three road, the three good area. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
So right here
After landing,
is entry point into game between this yellow line and this yellow line. Let's see if we bounce off here.
Here, see, the princess Aurora takes a walk in the forest, in the walks. Stop. You see that? The bird. Look at that.
Let's see if we're getting a breakout here. So we got a nice bounce off the blue. So this is the setup we always play. Pump, consolidation to the blue. Pump, consolidation to the blue. Pump. So let's say we stay above the blue line or we break below this blue line here. So this blue line here is going to be a pivot as to where we go for the rest of the day. Same thing with the tech sector, kind of moving in the same way, right? So we got a nice little pump. We came back to the blue line, pump. We came back to the blue line, pump. Ooh, looks like game is bouncing off this yellow line here. This might be a little fake bounce. I think we're going to come down a little bit lower and then bounce off of this line. But let's see. Right, we said anywhere between this yellow line and this yellow line is a nice target area to get in.
And what? See something else. Look up here. There's something. There's something missing. Friends to share with her. Oh, she called a bird. The bird come to her birthday. That's more?
Key West riding a momentum here. But volume is falling off, so expect a reversal on Key West. Chipotle still waiting to get down here. So everything right now curling off the top. Square curling off the top. Key West slowing down a bit, tailing wicks on the top here. Chipotle curling off the top. Tesla curling off the tops. What's going on with the SPY? SPY coming down, rejecting off this yellow line. TQs still looking good, right? We got a tailing wick off the bottom, but we do have a little bit of a curvature here. A little bit of a bounce here. Let's see if we continue in this bounce on game. So I don't know if you guys have noticed, as the SPY was moving up for the last 4 candles, game was moving down for the last 4 candles, right? And now that the SPY is getting rejected off this top, game is getting rejected off this bottom. Kind of the same thing with the tech sector. So GameStop is moving opposite to the market. Yesterday was a fairly nice up day for GameStop, right? Gapping up from 155 to 170s, and so we saw a big sell-off on the market, which is the SPY and the Nasdaq yesterday. So they kind of work inversely to one another.
Snow White and the boom. Snow White and yellow. Snow White and yellow, red. Squirrel, Texas squirrel. Show me where's the squirrel. Yes, you're right. And where's Snow White? Here, she's here. No, she's not here. Snow White not here. Okay, let's go to back here.
Ooh,
who is Snow White?
Nice little move on Tesla. Looks like we're trying to consolidate at this level here.
And where's the hole?
SPY continues to bounce off this blue line, right? So this blue line is going to be a critical point for us.
Where's the prince? The prince. The prince.
The Nasdaq still curling.
No, the prince. The princess. The prince. Yes. Okay,
So I'm going to delete this line here. So this blue line here is acting as our ascending support level. We bounce once, twice, 3 times, 4 times off this blue line.
Where's the squirrel? Squirrel. Where's the squirrel? Yeah. Yeah. Right here. Right. Yeah. Where's the Snow White?
We have a lower low and a lower high here on this candle. We still have 3 minutes to close, so we might break above this last 5-minute candle, but so far we're hitting this level here. So let's see. Right, so we have something like this forming right now. And we have a lower low here. I don't know where this candle is going to end, but we might bounce off this yellow line here, which is still going to be still very healthy. But if we break this tail of the previous wick, it's going to be very bearish on the TQs.
So which one is this one? Yeah. One,
Let's see here.
two.
We do have the blue line, the VWAP, and this tailing wick here acting as a resistance at this point. Also, the bottom of this channel, which is what we drew in previously. So we have 4 levels here acting as confluence. So if we break this, it's going to be very, very bearish for the NASDAQ. Blue line. Let's say we bounce. We're trying to bounce right now in the SPY.
Yes.
QS. You see volume trailing off.
The mice, just see the mice. Is that the mice? Nice.
SPY trying to bounce off of the blue and yellow there. Let's see if we're getting an upward movement in GameStop as the SPY comes down. And we are, right? So as SPY is coming down, we have GAME moving up on this bounce, continuing to hold this yellow line.
Nice, yes, nice. Oh. Where's Cinderella? Cinderella. Yes, okay. And the nice. Nice. Good. Another nice. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Yeah. And the mice again. 1, 2. And Cinderella talking to somebody. Okay. Cinderella.
Also, today is a Dodge day. Are any of you guys in Dogecoin? I haven't even really looked at that at all. Let's see what we're doing in Doge. Just curious.
Wonderful time.
There we go.
Especially
Doge USD.
Goose and Jack, the name of the mice. There's the mice. Yeah. 1 mice, 2 mice, 3 mice, 4 mice. Yes, that's it. Okay.
Not doing much for Doge Day.
Nice. Yes, yes, nice, nice. Okay, that's it. Yeah.
SPY breaking this blue, so I think we are gonna come down for today. So if SPY actually breaks this level here, which is 413.29, I'm gonna add to my puts. So this is the setup that we saw yesterday morning. I reviewed that for you guys earlier, and it's just playing out right now. So let's see, we get a bounce off this yellow line. We did bounce off here earlier this morning, but this is the bottom of the channel. So normally at the bottom of channels we will get some support, right? So we bounced off here earlier this morning. We've been bouncing off here throughout the entire week. So let's see what happens here. If we break, we might come down to this line, which is the bottom of, I guess, this value area. But once we break this value area, the SPY is no longer in an upward trend, and then it's going to be very bearish, guys.
Yeah, your fingers. Yeah, fingers. Counting. You count?
game getting a little bit of a bounce here.
Where your fingers should. No, give me more too. That end.
Woohoo! Nice big bounce on the SPY. So a lot of bulls defending this level here.
Right? 10 fingers. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then back up. That's high. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 fingers. How many fingers here? 5. And that hand. 5, 10 fingers. Yeah? You want to count? Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Give me another hand. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Will you count? Do it again? Okay. Ask me. How many fingers do I have? I have 10 fingers. We have 10 fingers too. Count. 1.
I'm just checking the news here to see if anything is popping up that we need to be aware of for the rest of the day. Otherwise, it seems like the market has shown us the direction it wants to go in.
10. You know what? We have 10 toes too. So look, that's why I show you 10 toes. Right? So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Another one. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah? Okay, come here. Show your toes. Okay, yeah. You sit down. Show me your toes. Yeah? Yeah, your toes. Okay, here, your toes here. You take up your socks. Yeah? And you see your toes. Oh. 1, 2. Yeah, you know, socks, yeah? Socks, look. Okay, that's it. Take off your socks here.
Just watching the SPY.
1, 2.
Right now we're getting rejected off the blue and yellow here, whereas previously it was acting as support, right? So previous support becomes new resistance.
8, 9, 10, yes. Oh, then we're back up. Yeah. That's how two. Yeah. Okay, so what's it here you have here? That's a D, F, D. Okay, that's what I wear for you. Yeah, you know that.
Nice little bounce on this GameStop. So GameStop holding this line pretty much exactly to the penny. We had a little bit of a breakdown here, but bounce right here, and now if we break this, which is 59.80, it's going to be really, really bullish. 59.55, 59.40. So we're getting stuck right here. Let's see what happens. We have SPY trying to bounce, but we are further and further away from this resistance now, heading down lower. So if we break 413.72, we're gonna have issues. I mean, by issues I mean the SPY is gonna drop down to here probably, most likely. 413 flat. So we do have a support level here, this yellow line, and a support level here in the low 413s. But these are just little pre-market pivots, so they're not going to be as strong as this lower band here. Ooh, look at the SPY trying to hold that level. Let's see if we can break above that blue and yellow. So holding this yellow line, breaking above the blue and yellow here. SPY desperately trying to hold. So we got a little low volume bounce there.
Uh-oh. No. You get that? Okay? When you roll it? Oh, you're going to count fingers now. Count fingers? Yeah. And
So we have the NASDAQ getting rejected off the blue and yellow. Previous support becomes new resistance. Game. Ooh, we did break above.
One.
I didn't even see that. So we broke above 59.80. That's a good move. So now we need to take out this level resistance here, which is the blue and yellow, at around 161. So we need to break above that, bounce above here, and head back up for the rest of the day. Tesla looking good here. Nice stair step pattern. You want more food?
Lúc này hay là đến kìa. You know more than just for you.
Oh, I get him another one. Okay. I could use some more. You like the waffle this morning?
Yeah, you want a little waffle? Yeah, waffle. Yeah. Here. Yeah. That's it. That's it. Give it to daddy. Get more waffle. Yeah. More waffle. Yeah. You want to get more waffle. Emma.
Alright, we are back. So the SPY got rejected off of the blue and yellow, right? So that resistance. Tesla looking interesting here. We got a big volume bar here. Tesla looking interesting. We got game curling up here. We got higher lows throughout the whole way, but we're flatlining here. So this is like a little flat top. So flat top breakout right here on GameStop, using this longer term trend line as a support. SPY false breakdown below this lower level of the channel. Tech moving down. What's Bitcoin doing? Not too much. So both Tesla and Game looking very nice right now. Nice flat. Actually, this is more of the flat top right here. That's what we're looking at on Tesla. This is what we're looking at in Game. Flat top breakouts on both. SPY continuing to try and hold this yellow line here. But once again, the more times we test this level, the fewer and fewer buyers we will have down here, right? Because they're buying, gets pushed down, they're buying again, gets pushed down. Eventually, they're going to run out of money. There we go. Looking at this break. So once we break above this and break above this level here, which is the EMA and the VWAP, we should see a nice move to the top. Tesla, the same thing, just breaking right here on that flat top. Tesla, next resistance is here, which is the fib, which is 743. So Game, little false breakout here. Let's see what we hold inside of this triangle.
Yeah, catching more.
And the SPY, we have a little bit of a downward channel here starting. So you have something like this forming on the SPY right now.
Good. Yeah, good. Right. Helicopter.
So we failed this flat top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust this,
It is before, yeah, ignore.
because we do have a lower high right here, so we have to take this into account.
Yeah, more. Oh, this one good.
So previously we had a flat top kind of like right here. We had a false breakout, but really right now what we look to be playing is this wedge. I'm done. You like pancake? Yeah, you eating the pancake?
No,
Tasty. Chipotle QS Square. Ooh, Square looking interesting. So Square, nice spike, consolidation down to the blue line. Now we're consolidating here, bouncing off of the blue. Let's see. So we have the blue line here, we have the VWAP, and we have a fib for Square. 3 lines here acting as support.
Helicopter, you want to eat smoke? Yeah.
Tesla looking good here. Now using this yellow line as a support level. We broke above, using this as support to hold us and gather momentum to break through this fib here at 743. So again, trying to bounce off this yellow line.
Mm. Airport. Yeah. Oh, helicopter. That's a helicopter. Yeah. That's the sky. Yeah. Right.
Doesn't look like we're gonna get too much movement.
Helicopter. Helicopter. Where's your belly button? Yeah. Helicopter. No. Okay, listen. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. More. Yeah. An airport. Ooh, airport. Shoom. Ooh. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, that's okay. Boom, boom, boom.
Alright.
You want to open that?
Oh, good job, buddy.
Rồi nó là show call.
Wow, you finished? You big boy. Do you want more? Do you want more, or are you have enough?
Yeah, too much already. Yeah? You want more? Yeah. Okay.
Yummy. Still playing with this wedge here. So the time now is 10:24. We're gonna hang out for another 5 minutes at 10:30. I want to see how this wedge plays out. We are getting the SPY kind of bouncing around this area here, so let's see if we stay in this channel. Curious to see this as well. Yeah, looking like the market has kind of slowed down for the day. Gradual grind down, that's what it looks like. Tesla, what are we looking at here? We do have 3 levels of confluence here. We do have this ascending support that we drew in. We have the yellow line, which is the VWAP, and we have the blue line, which is the EMA. However, if we're expecting the NASDAQ to trail off, if we're expecting the SPY to trail off, then we can only expect Tesla to trail off as well. But I think on Tesla we might finish around 715 for the day. 715, this level here, down to this level here, which is the fib of 705. We saw a nice consolidation here pre-market. We might just come back down there. This could be just a dead cat bounce. So people are saying, okay, you guys are oversold from yesterday. Let's get in because this is a value level, which it is, right? So I don't think it's going to break down here, but we'll probably finish around here today. As momentum slows down, people are going to start taking profit as we approach this level here as a resistance. So we saw that on QS as well. People started taking profit after this bounce, and it's starting to come down. Chipotle, the same thing, bounce, profit taking. Square, bounce, profit taking, but Square holding strong here. So Square showing a lot of strength for the tech sector today. Same thing with Tesla, pump, bounce. So both Tesla and Square showing a lot of strength. Do I think it's going to continue? not if the entire market comes down, right? So they will be affected by the broad market, unfortunately, unless a massive amount of volume comes in. SPY touching the yellow line coming down. So SPY attempting a breakout from this downward channel, unable to do so. Game trying to break out of this little triangle here. Let's see which way it goes. Is it going to follow this line upwards, or is it going to follow this line downwards? Buddy, how you get that, buddy? Mama give you the seaweed? Oh, you lucky boy. Oh, that's too big. That's too big bite. You gotta eat a little piece at a time. Okay, don't choke, buddy. I like how Square is looking. Square is looking super strong today. So we see volume falling off, which is okay, but it's holding this level. We see the RSI pointing up. We see the MACD looking like it wants to curve upwards here. So game staying inside this little triangle as we get closer and closer to the tip. So Tesla now, so this little false breakout here, unable to stay above the yellow line. We might come right back down to this blue and yellow VWAP and EMA. So on game, which way are we going to go? We want to look at the other indicators. We see volume trailing off, but we see the RSI pointing up. We see the MACD starting to curve upwards. So if we were to guess, we would think that it would move upwards here from this little wedge. And then once again, as I said before, we need to break the blue line and the yellow line above here. So 161 is the spot to break for us to reverse the upside. Otherwise, we're just going to stay along here for probably the rest of the day, around 160. Let's see what happens. We have a minute 30 left on this candle. Trying to break out here. So we're seeing the upward break, so following the indicators there. Bullish indicator on the RSI pointing upwards. MACD starting to curve upwards here. But remember, we do have areas of resistance right here, guys. So 161 is a spot to break on game. If we can break 161, we're going to see a move upwards for the rest of the day. Really good entry point here, as we pointed out at the very beginning of the day, right? So I said, once we reject it from here, this would be our buy-in level at 158, and we touched the low of 157.30. Let's see if we can break. Heading upwards here, getting stuck just under 161. Ooh, a little bit of a tailing wick, so getting rejected right here. SPY looks like we're coming down. TQs look like we're coming down as well. You know what that means? Game looks like we're heading up. So we have a rejection here off the yellow line on Tesla. Blue and yellow obviously acting as support levels here. Square still looking good. Out of all of the stocks we're looking at today, Square looking the strongest. But we do have RSI coming down. We do have the MACD coming down here. Ooh, wasn't even looking, but SPY touching the very bottom of this yellow line that we just drew in missed that, but that was like a perfect to the penny bounce. Let's zoom in. Pretty much to the penny. Very, very nice. So SPY pretty much playing in the channel that we drew in from the beginning of the morning. But remember guys, the minute we break out of this, it's going to be very bearish. Break this, we're going to head down to 410. So you want to be careful there guys.
Where are you? Where are you, Cathy? Oh, where are you? Where are you? Okay. Go up. Go up. Go up. Go up. Okay. You see in school? No? Okay. See anything? No? Nothing?
Alright, so the time now is 10:32. SPY looks like we're going to trend downwards for the rest of the day. Square looking good here. So I would take a position here on Square. I mean, personally, I'm not going to at the moment. But if you guys are looking to, this is a very, very low risk entry point. Hi, buddy. So we break below this green line, it's time to get out. Otherwise, buy in around here and then just ride it up to this right up here, 262. But if we break below 249, it's time to get out. So we're looking at, look at the SPY. Let's see what happens here. Right, so you're looking at a $10 gain versus a $1 loss. So you have a 10 to 1 risk to reward ratio. Hi, buddy. Which is something I would always play, right? 10 to 1 risk to reward ratio. If you win, you make $10. If you lose a maximum of $1. So you only, even if you win 50% of the time, you're still making a huge, huge gain, right? If you're continuing to play 10 to 1 risk to reward ratio. What do you want, buddy? You want to read a book? Okay. How about those books over there? Alright guys, it is 10:33. I'm going to head off for now. So I'll see you guys tomorrow as we do bright and early, 9:15 to 9:20 every trading day. This is Mitch from Dumb Money Day Trading signing off for now. I hope you guys had fun. I hope you guys made money. And I hope you guys learned a lot. Say bye, buddy. Bye, everybody.
You shouldn't eat that much.